Today we're going to be doing a commentary on this man who comes to bring his kids some food. Actually, it's going to be two videos like that, where two different men came to bring their kids some food to the baby's mom. And the baby's mom had 3 or 4 more kids from different daddies. And these baby mamas felt like the men should bring all the kids some food instead of just a one kid. They should bring all the kids that she got from other men some food, and that the men should have looked out for the other children. And we're gonna look at the video, and then I'm gonna give you my opinion on it. But yeah, I can't wait to get to this one. Okay, can't wait. Here we go.
I told you to stop bringing her some food if you're not gonna bring the rest of my kids some food.
He don't gotta bring the rest of them kids no damn food. Y'all listen to the rest of them.
Bro, I only have one child with you, bro.
I know, but still, I told you that's not fair for her siblings for her to have food and they don't got nothing. That's not right.
But then you need to send the kid out there to sit in the car with her daddy so she can eat her food.
I mean, that's not really my problem, though, bro. Like, I make sure my daughter is fed, bro.
That's definitely not his problem. As long as he makes sure that daughter is fed, that's all he have to worry about. How you know he even got money for the rest of your kids? Where they daddy at?
I mean, yeah, I get that, but still, you can't think about my other kids. They don't have to be your kids for you to get them a little snack or something. You could bring her food.
Why don't you get the rest of your kids some food?
I'm sorry about your other kids, but I only got one daughter, bro. And I
That's
gotta make
messed
sure,
up, bro.
I gotta make sure she's fed.
Y'all can't be pinning y'all kids on other men. If the other baby daddies don't come around and don't pay for their food, that has nothing to do with that one man that actually take care of their child. Then that's when you need to make sure that you buy your other kids food so they won't feel left out. Stop trying to pin that shit all on one man. That's not his goddamn job.
Look, y'all. Every fucking day my baby daddy come here with one fucking meal for my child. But I have 3 other kids. We have 1 kid together, but he only want to come and bring one thing to McDonald's. But what about my other kids? How come you can't feed my other kids McDonald's though? Like, that's bogus as hell. Like, you're not finna sit here and make my other kids feel left out, and you're only bringing one child something to eat. Look, there he go, and I bet you he only got one thing in there. I bet you he don't even. I'm finna expose out of him so people can see how he really is. It ain't more than enough food in that bag for everybody. What's up? Because I'm finna expose you. What? Because that don't look enough for all my kids. That don't look enough for all my kids. What is that? That's just one burger? One burger, one fry?
What he like? What do you mean?
Okay, what about
Okay, I left the lady in the video because I wanted people to see it's not just the men who feel this way. It's also a lot of ladies that feel the same way too. And I liked what she was saying. I'm a supporter of her message 110%. And I support that message 110%. I support that message. No, but it's a lot of people who feel like that. And yeah. Sorry, ladies, but no can do. I support everything both men did. I think both men did the right thing, and that's that. But I just need to throw that in there so people can understand. I left her in there for a reason. Okay? Anyway, back to the video. Woo! Woo! Boy, the smoke is coming in from the choo-choo train. Woo! Ain't got no brakes on these trains either, boy. No brakes. It's coming through the track full speed with all the wagons behind me carrying full load, plowing over anything in our path. So, here's what I'm going to say about this. We're going to do the first one first. Okay? First, this guy... the first guy has a little girl with that lady. Okay, the first guy, he's got a little girl with that baby mama. Okay, And she said, you can't think about, you can't get my other little kids something like a little snack or something? Hell no. Hell to the double no. Hell no, he can't. No, it's not his responsibility, ladies. He has one kid with you. He's doing his job. You can't condemn the one for what the other ones ain't doing. You should have made better choices. If you want your other kids to have a snack, you should have thought about that when you was making those babies. It ain't his job, the one guy that does something job, to get the other daddy's kids a snack. The hell out of here with that shit. You crazy. You done bumped your head. No. It ain't his job. Now, he want to do it, and he could do it. That's different. But then I feel like this. He shouldn't do it. I'm going to tell you why. Because if he do it one time, then you're going to want him to do it all the time. And he might not be able to do it them other times. So I wouldn't even start something on a note I couldn't keep up. So, unfortunately, no. He shouldn't be doing it. Your kids, other men, y'all problem. Not his. It's not his problem. His problem is his child. He taking care of his child. That's all that matters. Everything else is irrelevant. He is all that song and dance, that crybaby stuff, cry you a river. You can do all that you want, but the other kids ain't getting anything. He doing what he's supposed to do, and he done made it real clear, and I agree with him. Hey, them other kids ain't my problem. He right. It's not his problem. So unfortunately, ma'am, that's not happening. Okay, it's just not in the cards for the other kids. Okay, it's just not. All right. We love the kids, but those kids are not our problems. Okay. He did for the one he was supposed to. That's his job. That's probably all he could afford. And if he could afford more, he still shouldn't do it. Again, you heard my opinion on it, because then you're going to want him to do it all the time and expect that treatment. So he shouldn't start something he ain't going to be able to keep up. So unfortunately, the other kids, no, not happening. Sorry. Drop that bag off and go deuces and call it a day. Now, let's say she don't want to take the bag. Okay. Now you're trying to hold back your one kid for the other kids, and that ain't fair to that kid that can make it. All your kids might not be able to go to college. All your kids might not get invited for a sleepover. All your kids might not get gifts when gifts are being given out, because all of them probably wasn't there. Just examples. So you can't punish the ones that can have it for the ones that can't. Everybody can't be the same. That's personally on you. As a mom, that's your job. You should have thought about all of that stuff. The one guy's doing what he's supposed to do. He ain't supposed to do it for all your kids. That's not his job. Those are not his kids. That is not his responsibility. Nope. Nope. Should not happen. Won't happen. And it didn't happen. So that's their situation. He did the right thing. Gave her that bag. Said that's not his problem. She talked about snacks. Nope. Not even a bag of Skittles. We ain't splitting them up. They ain't going to one person. There's that person they going to. That's it. Like the lady said, she could send his kid out to the car and let his kid eat. But knowing her, she ain't gonna want to do that, because she's still thinking about her other kids and wanting him to get something for all of them, and it just don't work like that. Okay, the second lady, that guy has a son with her, okay? And she wants him, she has 3 other kids, which means it's a total of 4. She has a total of 4, okay? 4, okay? She has 4 kids. Only one is his, okay? That means the other 3 is out. And that one, you're in. But the other 3, you're out. But that one, you're in. Well, here's how this works. She's talking about outing him and putting him out there. No, you're not putting him anywhere. Nobody's going to agree with you that he should get something for all your kids except for a simp dude. But the average man is going to be on that same page. A lot of women, I think, would agree that's not his responsibility. It's easy for some women that's in that situation to say no, but no. Listen, if a woman had to come out of her pocket and pay for all those kids, and then you got a baby mama that got a bad attitude and just treating you nasty, because it ain't like neither one of them seem pleasant to deal with or to be around, or that you can have a conversation, because it already seemed like they done said this before to the man, and the man already done explained it, and they still keep coming with the same song and dance. So it's like this, okay? He's bringing his kid something. His kid. He done drove a ways. He done went and got what his kid needed and brought it to his kid. The other kids are not his problem. All your kids is not his problem. Those are not his kids. They got daddies, call they daddies. That ain't his problem. You had them babies. You should have thought about that. Excuse me. You should have thought about that. You should have thought about that, okay? You set up there and had them babies and got them other baby daddies and they ain't doing shit for their kid. That's their problem. That's you and them. That's y'all problem. But the man that's coming and doing his shit for his kid is doing his job. That ain't his problem. You got to take that food and give it to his kid. The other ones just got to ask their daddies, or you got to go get some money and go get the other one something. That's your responsibility, not his. Don't be trying to put that shit to him. It's not his responsibility. You ladies need to understand something. Men will never take care of other men's children when they have a child with you. Only if they're with you, yeah. If they're married to you, in a relationship with you, they might do some things. They marry to you, they take them upon themselves, they will. But it's not ideal for men, and men don't usually want to marry a woman with multiple baby daddies or multiple children. They just don't want it. Especially not a man of value. It's never going to happen. All right. That's that. He shouldn't have bought anything for nobody but his own kid. And that's just what it is, ladies. You don't like it, that's your business. You got them babies, you got them other baby daddies. You need to call them other baby daddies up. If you got bad baby daddies, that means you made poor choices and bad decisions. And no one should have to pay for your poor choices and bad decisions. Those are your decisions and your choices that you made. All your children shouldn't suffer for what because the other baby daddies couldn't do something, you're going to make the one suffer. And I'm going to throw a bonus in there at the end of this for this. There was a video I saw not that long ago, maybe like a week ago, where there was a white lady. It was on TikTok. And she had a kid she had 5 children. And she had all of them had different baby daddies, okay? All of them had different fathers, okay? And the daddy was about to go, him and his family was going to Disney World. And they wanted to take his daughter with him to Disney World. The whole family was going, and they wanted to take the daughter with them to Disney World. You know, the whole family's going. And the mom said she wasn't going to let the daughter go to Disney World because they wouldn't take her other kids. This lady must have bumped her damn head. Disney World's expensive. What you think him and his family going to pay for all your other 4 kids? You out your damn man. So you going to hold back the one kid that could go see Disney World, that could go see Mickey and Minnie Mouse and get to have that experience. You going to hold her back from evolving and growing and learning things because of the other 4 you got with the other 4 daddies, because you can't afford to take them, or because their daddies can't take them. That shit sounds stupid to me. That shit sounds stupid. That's his kid. He wants to take his kid. He would take his kid. That ain't you can't stop him from taking his kid if you want to take his kid, unless it's on your time. Now, what they might have to do as a family is just reschedule their shit around the time that he got his kid and take her anyway. Because if he got her for a weekend, he could take her on the weekend he got her and take her on with him. And just going on to Disney World. They don't have to have her permission to go to Disney World with his fucking daughter. She out her damn mind. She don't want the daughter. She said she ain't letting the daughter go. And she didn't care what nobody thought about it. She wasn't going to let the daughter go because her other 4 kids couldn't go. And they wouldn't take her other 4 kids. Hell no. Hell to the double no. Hell to the double no. They ain't taking all your other 4 kids. Them ain't his kids. Disney World tickets cost a lot. You must gonna be doing some serious stuff to get them ticket money. But I can tell you this, even if you had the money to pay for your other 4, I wouldn't take them. That ain't my responsibility. I'm not gonna be responsible for 4 other kids that ain't mine and taking them and making room for them and feeding them. You ain't gonna send enough money for them to do all that. No, and hell no. He needs to take just his kid. His kid is what is his. It was a little girl. It was his little girl. He wants to take her, and the whole family was going. Grandma and all them wanted to take her. And then she gonna come talking about she ain't letting the little girl go because they won't take her other kids. You out your damn rabbit ass man. Crack is cheap. What you been smoking? What planet are you on? Ain't nobody gonna take all them kids with them. That ain't their responsibility. That ain't never gonna happen. So you gonna stop your kids from having a Disney World experience because all of them can't go? That just sound crazy. If all of them can't get into the honors class, then the one can't go to the honors class because all the rest can't go. If one get a scholarship and the other ones don't get one, what that one can't go to the college they want to go because the other folk can't go? No. This is where they gonna be. This is where they gonna get to go and do what they want to do and make their own choices. Listen, ladies, look, you gotta be realistic here. You living in an imaginary land if you think men are gonna take other men's children and do things for them. That's just not our way. We're not going to do that. We're not with you. That's not our responsibility. Not our responsibility at all. Not our responsibility. I'm going to throw an extra in there just so you understand the situation. Men. I had a kid with a Mexican. Okay? Mexican baby's mom. I have a Mexican baby's mom. My youngest daughter. And she had 2 other kids when I first met her. I was young. She had 2 other kids when I first met her. The daddy was in prison for almost a life sentence. I don't want to put his business out there and say what he was in there for, but he was in there, okay? And I was raising these 2 kids like my own. They were little, okay? I was raising these 2 kids like my own. For 5 years, okay? 2 years into our relationship, she has a daughter for me, okay? I used to take her kids to the park every other day because I like a big kid myself. And she used to come and go with us, and we used to all go out to the park. If they wanted to play, and she didn't never take them to play. She just wasn't that person. So the kids really didn't get to do anything. They had ADHD. You know, they was over hyperly active. They weren't getting to release that energy. So I was like, take them to the park and let them play. And it helped them out a lot, relieving their energy. She had them on medication and shit to try to calm them down. They were just over hyperly active, okay? And this went on for years that we went to the park almost every other day, okay? And I taught them how to do their ABCs. I taught them a whole bunch of shit, reading, write. I helped them with their homework assignments. I mean, I put a lot of energy in. I would pick them up from daycares. I would drop them off, you know, all kind of stuff with the kids. Play with them every day, taught them things, just invested time, energy, and everything into the kids, okay? Looked at them like they were mine. Fast forward to the end of the 5-year period. She decides she wants to go her own separate way. And I was okay with that because I had been doing the family thing for a long time. And I wasn't really okay with it in the beginning because I really thought, I was going to stay with that girl. And I just saw, being with her and marrying her. But we never really talked about that. But we lived like we were. We were living together. Everything was good. The day that we separated, the following week when it came to me to see my kid, she came with her other 2 kids. Never gonna forget it. Now me, man, my mindset, I'm not thinking anything about it because I looked at them like they were my kids. We laughed and joked. We played all the time. Me and the kids, they loved me. They loved me to death. We never had an issue. I came to get my kid and I offered to take her other 2 kids with me because they didn't have a daddy. And I said, you know what? I'm going to take her to the park and my niece is going to go to the park and my nephews are going to go to the park and they could come with me and I could take them all to the park. You know what she said? She said, no. She said, no, although they're not your kids. You can't do that. This is the following week when we go our separate ways, okay? The following week, she said that they couldn't even talk to me anymore because I wasn't talking to her no more. The kids couldn't talk to me no more. And you should have seen how fucked up that was. We're coming together to meet in a Walmart. And the kids were like smiling and happy when they saw me. And then she told them they couldn't talk to me. Just shut them down. Told them they could not talk to me. You should have seen how sad they were. They cried about that shit. She didn't give a shit. It was all about her. And I say, well, they can't talk with me? She was like, nah, they're not your kids. And they can't talk with you. Me and you ain't together no more. And you can only get your kid. Your kid is your kid. You can get your kid. But since we ain't together, you can't talk with them and get them. I say, so you would rather not let them play and go back to how it was than to let them have some fun with their own sister? I've been with them every day for 5 years. Oh, yeah, I don't care. You're not their dad. They have a dad. Their dad's in prison. They don't need to play. I never forgot that. And let me tell you something. It happened to me a couple of times. Because I was a stepdaddy a couple of times. Stepdaddies, there is no reward. Okay? The day that shit ends, if she gets a new guy, even if you're putting in and she allows you to see the kid, that's going to be temporary. Because when she gets the new guy is going to want to know who's the daddies. Because he's going to ask questions. And when she tells him that you ain't the daddy, but you was with the kids like that, he's not going to be cool with the daddy coming by and the ex-boyfriend coming by. So she's going to cut you off to save her relationship. So everything that you did, all the time you invested, all the energy you invested, that shit just got burned. It's like you did it for nothing. Yeah, the kids walk away with these memories and they're happy and they got something to look forward to remember you by. But when it's over with the woman, she ain't gonna let you see them kids because they're her kids. And legally you have no custody or no rights to those children. So it's just over for you, okay? It's over for you, all right? So it took me for this to happen 3 times before I got it. There were older Spanish men and older black men that told me, and white men that told me not to ever talk with a woman who had kids. That she would always put her kids first and not me. And she would always, be about her kids. And they were right. I didn't get it at the time. I used to be like, oh man, it don't, I don't believe that. But it's true. And once I understood what they were saying way later in life, but when I got it, I got it. Okay? I don't have anything against women who have children, but I think if you have children, you need to be a lot more nicer if you're trying to get a man, because you really ain't offering him nothing but baggage. And men don't really want to put into other men's children because of this, what I just explained. In the end, when it's over, it's over. Okay, and everything he putting in there is just helping you, but it don't benefit him. In the long run, it benefits you. The other man kids can't be an asset to this other man that's not their daddy. It just can't. And you might have that 1 in a million type thing, that 3-5% one, but we can't look at that because the 95 is where everybody living in, not in that 3 or 5%, where it all works out and everything's great, and he goes all the way with the kid, and the kid looks at him like pops, like dad. No. Did I have an impact on their little lives? Yes. But again, that was the situation. That was my little story, a piece of one of my stories. Yeah, I don't do that. And no, he shouldn't invest into those other men's kids. It's like burning your money. Yeah, the kids will love it, but you ain't getting no benefit. You're just throwing away your money. You know, as soon as you say something they don't like or say something they ain't with, oh, you ain't my daddy and this and that. I never really heard that from those two kids, ever. But I have seen that it happens. And I have been around women where that happens, okay? And I've heard them say it about other men. And so, no. The men did the right thing, just bringing their kids some food. I'm in total 110% agreement with them. They should not ever bring the other kids any food, because why start something you're not going to be able to keep up? If they do it once, you're going to expect them to do it all the time. And they may not be able to do that, and then you're going to try to reject the one kid that's getting food because now you feel like they've been doing it, they should keep doing it. So the men shouldn't do that at all. Sorry, ladies, but that's just the way it is. That's how most men feel. And that's just never going to happen, okay? It's never going to happen. That's not the way it is going to go down. This is never going to happen. So that's my take on that anyway. Hope it helps. Deuces.